everybody, and welcome back to SEC Roundup. My name is Nick Morgan, and as always, I'm with Tom Zucchero. We're both board members of ICANN, the Investor Choice Advocates Network. Welcome, Tom.
Hi, Nick. How are you?
I'm doing all right, and we have a return appearance from Brad Mroski, who is a managing director of Alix Partners and a former assistant chief accountant in the SEC's enforcement division. Brad, welcome back. Thanks for joining.
Thanks, Nick. It's good to see you and Tom again.
So we wanted to talk to you specifically because a topic, a sort of recurring SEC topic, has popped up once again in a recent enforcement action. And it's the topic of public companies reporting using non-GAAP measures, which is something the SEC has repeatedly sort of swirled around, shall we say. So going back to 2016, there was some interpretive guidance. More recently, December of last year, there was some additional guidance and clarification from the staff. And then we started hearing reports. In February, there was a Wall Street Journal article indicating that Corp Fin was commenting on a number of companies' financials where they used non-GAAP measurements. And then lo and behold, in keeping with the SEC's pattern of, talk about, and then bring an enforcement action, last week, there was indeed an enforcement action that Tom's going to talk about against a public company on a non-GAAP measurement issue. So maybe we kick it off there. Tom, why don't you tell us a little bit about the case, and then we can get Brad's thoughts and reflections on a bigger picture.
Thanks, Nick. So the commission did bring a case last week against a company related to non-GAAP financial disclosures. It's an issue the commission has long been concerned about, that companies would misrepresent their financial picture using non-GAAP metrics. In this particular case, the commission alleged that the issuer misclassified costs in its non-GAAP reporting, which had the effect, obviously, of increasing net earnings in their non-GAAP disclosures. The commission brought a negligence case against this company, alleging both the misclassification of the expenses, the misclassification made the non-GAAP disclosures misleading, and also the company failed to have adequate non-GAAP disclosure controls to ensure that the disclosures that it was making concerning non-GAAP metrics were accurate. Again, it was a negligence case and a books and records case, but the commission did hit the company with an $8 million penalty. So it's a fairly serious warning to companies who are making non-GAAP financial disclosures.
It's interesting, Tom, coupling the $8 million penalty with negligence claims in an area where, at least, our view as litigators is it involves a lot of judgment calls, and when you're in non-GAAP territory, probably multiplies those judgment calls. Brad, is there any value to investors in using non-GAAP measurements? And if the SEC is too aggressive here, is there a risk that companies will sort of be chilled and shy away from using non-GAAP measurements where it might benefit investors? What are your thoughts on this?
I mean, certainly there's a benefit to investors from looking through the eyes of management. And often management will put out non-GAAP measures because they represent that that's the way that they measure the business. And certainly you can see that in a lot of the ways that executive compensation plans are structured, where some of the things that they're measured on are non-GAAP financial metrics, performance measures of the company. But I mean, to your question, anytime the SEC takes an interest in a particular topic and they start talking about it more and they start bringing enforcement actions around that topic, it naturally is going to have a chilling effect on the market in terms of what issuers are looking to do and how they represent their information. The non-GAAP disclosure thing, it's interesting because I was looking back a little bit. The SEC has been talking about this for a really long time. All the way back to 1973. The SEC put out an accounting series release number 142, where it specifically warned of possible confusion from the use of non-GAAP measures in public company disclosures. And so you see these things kind of go through waves where it'll sit quiet for a while, and then the SEC will take a renewed interest, as it seems like they're doing now. But from my view, it's not a reason for companies to necessarily shy away from using non-GAAP metrics. They just need to be cautious in the way that they do it and make sure that they're representing them comparatively period over period. If they're changing, there's fulsome disclosure about the way that they're changing their calculations. Document things, be prepared to defend the positions that they're taking.
Well, it'll be interesting to see if last week's case is a one-off or the start of a trend, particularly if you layer over topics like ESG and other things that are of great interest to the commission these days. So I guess we'll stay tuned. Brad, thanks so much for your thoughts. Tom, thanks for joining. And to everyone else, we'll see you on the next SEC Roundup.